Harriet's Daughter by Marlene Nobes Phillip. Chapter 1. Our group, 3 slaves and me, Harriet as leader, were walking real fast, making good time. We weren't running. We didn't want to call attention to ourselves. Suddenly, I heard a noise. I stopped, held up my hand. Everyone stopped too. Yes, there it was. The sound of the slave owners and their dogs, and they were coming fast. I looked around quickly. There was a hedge, a thick one, but not too tall. I motioned for the others to follow me. Quickly, I wormed my way through the hedge and lay on the ground. The others followed, and not a minute too soon we were all lying on the damp earth holding our breaths. Not 2 feet from us the slave owners and their dogs passed, making a whole heap of noise. Just as quickly, they were gone. I stood up and dusted off my clothes. "Hey, what are you doing there? Get out of there!" A man was shouting at us from his back door. He looked real mean and angry. So did his dog. "Come on, guys," I yelled. "Let's beat it!" This time we went over the hedge. Right behind us was this great big German Shepherd dog, slobbering and barking his head off. "Boy, that was close," I said. "Oh, he just barks a lot," someone added. "He looks real mean though." "Okay, guys," I said. "We're almost there. Let's run for it." We sprinted down the road to freedom, hauled ourselves through the broken window and fell laughing on the floor. Zulma and her group were already there waiting for us. "Yippee! We made it!" someone yelled. Everyone was laughing. We ran around the room, jumped up and down, slapped each other's palms, thumped each other on the back. We had made it to freedom from slavery and we were absolutely happy. "Man, that was close," Zulma said. "You know, one time we heard them slave owners and dogs coming and all of we crawl under these cars. Man, we were scared for so, but they didn't see we. When they gone, we come out and put foot to freedom." We all wanted to talk about what happened. We all did, at the same time, at the tops of our voices. "Hey guys," I yelled, "keep it down. The slave owners may be passing." "What's the time, somebody?" 12:45, Harriet. We were suddenly all quiet. The other group hadn't made it. They had been caught. We knew it. "What do we do now?" someone asked. "Let's have something to eat," I said. "Maybe they'll turn up in a while." Half an hour later, no one had come, so one by one, we left through the window. That was the first time we played the Underground Railway game. Some may say that was when it all began. No one did, but if anyone had asked me, that is, I would have said that it all began in the playground at my school, Winona, and before the Underground Railway game. Some people might even say that it really began a long time before that with me and my parents, but since I began with them, you can say everything began with them. I prefer to say it began that day in the playground. It was a Monday the 16th of January. That was the first day I met her, my friend Zulma. It was lunchtime. I hate lunchtime in the winter. After lunch, all I do is stand around the playground and feel cold. That's what I was doing that day, standing around the playground feeling cold and complaining to Tikush about the cold. She hated the cold even more than me. We were bored and my jaw was too frozen for me to do more than grunt my agreement to Tikush's favorite comment about the world. "Life sucks." Back then, life sure sucked for me. Life sucked, my parents sucked, especially my father. My brother sucked and my sister sucked. Even the Cosby Show sucked. And I mean everybody on it was so perfect, cute, rich, and black. I mean, how could anybody be so lucky and with parents that understood them and talked and even discussed the important things of life? It was all too much. Especially living with a sister who fancied she was a clone of Denise Huxtable. And bloody hell, she was pretty. Prettier than me. Thank God she was fat. Well, plump. And she wasn't rich, but she, my sister, was too much. Really too much. With her makeup and designer jeans and all that gunk she put in her hair to make herself look like Denise Huxtable. So I grunted in agreement with Tikush. Life did suck. It really did. and I had done nothing to deserve this from life. Nothing. I was always being told that I was the one with the brains in the family, but I would willingly have given that up for what mattered in this world, style and class. It was Tekush who first suggested that we go and see what the group of kids over by the swings were up to. Finally, it looked like something was happening, so we walked over and I pushed my way to the center. I saw a girl about my age, 14 years, 10 days and some 15 hours. She was standing at the center of the group, and although she is now my absolute friend, I have to say that she did look a bit strange that day. She was wearing these ribbons. If there is anything you can wear to show how much you lack style and class, it's ribbons. Big blue satin ribbons tied in bows on the ends of her braids. 2 thick braids. I know it's not cool to want braids that are not fancy with beads and all that, but right then and there I wished I had braids like that. Real long and thick. But she was crying. It wasn't loud, her crying, but you could see that she was, and somehow it was worse because she wasn't making any noise. My lump of a sister, I thought, should take lessons from her. When she cried, I swear you could hear her all the way to Africa or China. That wasn't a nice thought, and I wasn't proud of it. Sort of gross, really. But if you could imagine someone crying, yet looking proud so that you didn't feel sorry for her, that was how she looked. She held her head up and pushed her chin out, as if she was trying to stop the tears running down her face. I noticed her left hand. It was curled into a fist. Her right hand was wide open and she was pressing it hard against her coat. That was the second funny thing about her. Her coat. Not funny, ha, but funny strange. It was real big for her, almost like a grown-up's coat. I really felt sorry for her and thought that she was just as uncool as me. No style, no class. She kept wiping her hand against the coat, like she was trying to wipe away something. "Hey guys, come on," I said, turning around to face the other kids. I was now standing close to her. "Can't you see she's crying? Leave her alone." I put my arm around her shoulders and said to her, "Come on, let's go." Everyone moved aside for us, and we walked away. "What's your name?" I said. She was sobbing, but managed to get out a word that sounded something like Thelma. Thelma? She shook her head. She said, "No, Zulma." Zulma? She nodded and wiped her tears with the backs of her hands. I thought it was a really strange name, but I didn't think it was the best time to ask her what it meant and where it came from. Before I could say anything else, she continued sobbing between the words, and me I hate it here. Me wish me was back home with Gran. It's so cool. Where's home? I didn't give her a chance to answer. I saw she was shivering. "Come on, you've got to keep moving or you'll freeze. Your blood hasn't thickened yet." That's what my mom says about people who have just come here from the West Indies. She couldn't get out the word. She shook her head like she was trying to clear it. Then she took a deep breath and slowly, very slowly, and very carefully, I still remember it, she said the word, stopping between each syllable. Tobago. I knew exactly what she meant. The same thing I mean when I say the word absolute in that way. It means something extra special, even a little different. I had stopped walking. She had too. And I watched her as she said the word. It was like the word was fragile, sort of precious. And if she didn't say it like that, it would break. Tobago. She nodded and didn't say anything else. She wasn't crying any longer, but she held her head down. Her braids and ribbons stuck up and out over her neck. I had never in my life seen such big, shiny ribbons, and never on anybody's hair. I didn't like her being so quiet. It made me feel worried. When she was crying, I felt I could help, but now she was so quiet, I felt a little afraid. I wanted to ask her questions about Tobago and her gran, but I felt I shouldn't. I could hear my mother's voice. "Don't ask so many questions, Margaret. It's rude." I decided it wasn't a good time to be rude. Instead, I said to her, "Know how to make angels?" She looked at me with a quick sideways glance. I think she was looking to see if I was making fun of her. I wasn't, so she shook her head. I dropped to the ground on my back, quickly moved my arms up and down in the snow, opened and closed my legs a couple of times, and then stood up and pointed. "See," I said, "an angel." "Look at that," she said. "It's just like those Christmas cards Gran used to get from Canada and England. It's an angel for true. Me want make one too." She flung herself laughing onto the snowbank and began moving her arms and legs like she had just seen me do. That was how our friendship got started, making angels in the snow. Zulma was my absolute friend. I had had one other absolute friend before this, but she had moved away just before last Christmas to Alberta. After she left, I used to hang out quite a bit with Tikush, but she would get so down about everything. It was a bit too much sometimes. I mean, she didn't have a too pretty sister. That's what my father calls her, my too pretty girl. It was only her and her mother, just the two of them. And she didn't have to share her mother with anyone, but they still didn't get along. Of course, I always took Tukush's side. Parents could be too difficult sometimes, like my mother going and buying me North Star sneakers. Nobody wears North Stars, but she has to go and buy me North Stars. I refused to wear them. Then she yelled at me, my father yelled at me, then they both yelled at me about poverty and poor starving children. I told them to send the North Stars to those poor starving children. They needed them more than I did. They could even eat them for all I cared. I didn't really mean that, but I was so fed up with my parents going on and on at me. So I got grounded again for rudeness to your parents, which has got to be one of the worst, if not the worst sin in my house. And God knows there are a lot of them, sins I mean, in my house. My father, of course, or he as I call him, didn't lose the chance to tell me that I needed to be sent back to the West Indies for some good West Indian discipline.